So the use that we have on this is about 70 doses per month within the Scott County area, and that encompasses all of the first responders, police departments, fire departments, and transporting ambulance agencies. We know those numbers because there's a federal grant through the state of Iowa that I am able to replace those medications as they are used. So when an agency uses a medication, they report to me at the end of the month how many they used, and they tell me the call that it was used on and the date that was, so we can track actual usage, as well as the expirations. We get that replaced for them if anything does outdate. So we do see a little bit of an increased use in the elderly population or the increased age group. That's a little bit artificially inflated because our protocol says to give Narcan to anybody we find with an altered mental status. And that is the #1 age group we have for cardiac arrest as well. So when we find somebody in the field in cardiac arrest, most of the time it's somebody in more of an advanced age. We do go ahead and give them the Narcan, not only because it's altered mental status, but we don't know what got them into that scenario. It certainly could have been an accidental overdose. Maybe they're taking their medications for the day, they had a surgery previously, and if one makes me feel pretty good, takes away my pain, today my pain is really bad, if I take 2, I'll feel better. Next thing you know, they're in an accidental overdose state. So we do see that a little bit in the higher age groups due to using it in the protocols for cardiac arrest. Okay. So one of the concerns that we have is, what is the substances out there? If it's a known substance that we're aware of, like maybe an oxycodone or something like that, so it's an FDA approved medication, we know what it is, we know the dosage, we know how it's going to react. Or maybe a heroin that we've seen several times before, and it's been familiar, it's been a drug for several years. But it's the synthetic things and the things that they're cutting these medications with to make them more potent, to be able to sell more of them and make their users come back to get the better or the good stuff, if you will. But it's the synthetic materials that they're putting out now that mimic narcotics or opioids, and they won't react to the Narcan. So what we're giving them to counteract and the tried and true methods that we use to care for somebody aren't working.
It varies. It runs in spurts, as we like to call them. There's where we'll run several in a month or 2 month section of time. Otherwise, we may go several months without it. So last year, 2023, we had about 60 overdoses that we responded to where we administered naloxone. Okay. Typically, we've seen an increase since I've started, over 20 years ago. And a lot of the overdoses, they seem to be taking either a higher dose or a more potent dose of the drug, which has caused them to get into a deeper state of unresponsiveness to the point of not breathing, having to give more doses of Narcan than normal. Okay. Some of the challenges is just the naloxone or Narcan not working. We give anywhere from 4, 5, 6, we've given up to 8 and 9 doses of Narcan while treating them all the way to the hospital.